Welcome to the Exhibitor Lounge, sponsored by ExhibitEdge.com. Now, I'm your host and your trade show mixologist, Michael Gray. Here, each week, you receive simple, practical, and proven tips to improve your trade show marketing strategy and get better results while maximizing your budget. Okay, so last week we started talking about the official contractor's deadlines and rates. More specifically, we were on the subject of the material handling form. Now, we went through the first three on the list, which was advanced freight, direct freight, and target freight. So let me throw in a few thoughts to help you decide which freight option to choose. And then we will continue with numbers 4 and 5. All right, how do you know when it's better to ship advanced or direct? Now, here at Exhibit Edge, we will look at each situation independently. Now, we really prefer not to ship advanced since it usually costs a little more. It also, by nature of the service, requires your freight to be handled more often, making it more susceptible to damage. If we need to go advanced, then we're doing it to get the guaranteed earliest starting time on the installation schedule. Now, advanced freight is also good when transshipping. It saves a lot in shipping costs if we can ship directly from one show to another, making use of the advanced freight free storage window. Now, another reason to go advanced is if there is a possibility for a lot of waiting time. Now, air freight carriers used for smaller shipments will charge waiting time, which is common with direct freight. Now, the opposite of that, when choosing to go direct freight, is if the shipment is large enough to be carried by a specialized tractor-trailer company. Now, they're also known as padded van services. They do not charge waiting time. So you see how each situation will depend on the carrier used, the size of the shipment, and the time available. Okay, let's go back to the material handling rates and the deadlines. Now, the next thing to consider is number 4, the minimum drayage rate. Now, read carefully about minimum rates, as shipping small packages to the show site can cost you dearly if there's a 200-pound drayage minimum per shipment. Now, imagine sending a 5-pound FedEx box to the show and getting a bill for $180 to deliver that little package from the dock to your exhibit location on the floor. Outrageous, you say. No, it happens all the time. Now, some general contractors do offer a small package rate for single packages that are under a certain weight. Now, that cost is about $25 to $35 per package, which is much better than $180. But you must read the exhibitor manual to know these costs. Now, sometimes it's worth the time and effort to ship small items to the show site when small package rates are available. But you may also consider shipping to your hotel room and hand carrying them to the show instead. All right, number 5, overtime drayage rates. It is a misconception to think that if you ship your freight into advanced drayage, that it will not incur overtime move-in charges when it is delivered to the show site. Now, advanced freight is unloaded at the show site always before direct freight, and it is available at the start of the published installation date and time. When it moves onto the show floor, determine straight time or overtime rates, not when it's received in the warehouse. If your freight has the potential to move in or out on overtime, understand that each time is a separate surcharge. So if it moves in on overtime and out on overtime, you have to take the published overtime surcharge and add it to the base rate twice. All right, Exhibit Edge will often dismantle on overtime the night the show closes to better position our shipment for straight time loading the next morning. All right, next week we'll look at other general contractor services like carpeting, furniture, and labor. Hey, as always, please respond with your questions or comments and let others know about exhibitorlounge.com. Hey, we'll see you next week. Until then, I'm your host, Michael Gray, telling you, relax in the Exhibitor Lounge.